on the trail. I believe it's a head knock, so I hope he's doing better. I haven't read anything else about it online today, so I presume he's all right.
No, all I've read about it from the post-match is that obviously 38-0 was caused by the referee.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, we'll get to that in a minute, because I do think there was a couple of sniffs of a forward pass and things like that, but Cass were far too good for Lee. Brian Davies says, Cass were brilliant again. It shows how good Cass are, that they can put Greg Eden on the wing and he can score 25 tries. This is Greg Eden, the next Billy Slater. Chuff me. Even Tom or Mark could play on that wing and score a few. Cheers, Brian.
Even Tom and Mark.
Even Tom or Mark. There you go. I feel like I could do a serviceable job. I think I'd do better in the centres. It's more sort of a stocky Junior Sal-esque.
You could be the Jake Webster.
That's it. I can be, exactly. I can be Renaissance Man Webster to your lithe and sprightly Greg Minikin, perhaps.
Fatboy Rob said, I've missed the A580 East Lancs Road since the Saints moved a few years back, with all its traffic lights and returning with 0 points. How times have changed for us Cass fans. A ruthless attacking and defensive display from the champions-elect.
Wow.
With a bit of help from the video ref. To cap a perfect weekend for me and Greg Eden, he got 7 tries. I got a like on a tweet from Barry Mack. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. These are halcyon days indeed. And Scoots28 Matt got in touch on this one. Again, Cass blitz in a few tries to go back to back. Thought Lee were unlucky with some decisions. Still dislike Eden though. Has she gone on to it? Because this has come up a couple of times now. Scoots actually got in touch and explained what it is she doesn't like about him. Do you recall?
I've just assumed it's because he played for Rovers. I mean, we know how much...
Oh, yeah, we know much... Yeah, Rovers don't like each other, do they, I suppose? So...
Well,
we know
what we know is RFC supporting listeners bring up their kids to really fucking hate Rovers.
She really fucking hated Rovers, that little girl. Looked like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth.
Yeah.
She was getting right involved with all that dirty red and white bastard stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fair play, though. What a credit to Phil Nading that young lady was as well.
She was good,
polite, good
real
fun.
Good value, but polite and
but she hates,
kind and nice.
She hates Rovers.
Yeah,
fair enough then.
And up for a laugh too.
Yes, she coped very well. I suspect she spends a good deal of time with her dad and can just cope with being around, blokes that are all sort of like-minded in those situations. She just sort of sits quietly and lets us all make fools of ourselves, didn't she? The young lady. So fair play. Look, Castleford were phenomenal in this one, and I have absolutely no time for a man who wants to come out and blame the referee.
I don't think he was just talking about this game. He's having the conversation more about the whole thing, and I think he also acknowledged that his side have been so disgraceful in terms of their own application that they deserve to be where they are in the table. Yeah. But
it undercuts his argument, and it's just unfortunate timing. It undercuts his argument to come out and say fair play to Castleford, but after you've been drubbed 38 points now, because
it's perfect timing. Deflect attention away from the fact that our side really aren't competing in Super League.
Do you think that's the? Because if that's the case, that's a bit more intelligent. I just don't think that's what it is. I just think it's a gobshite owner having one too many red wines during the game and coming out and having a bitch because he thinks the referee hasn't been favourable enough to him.
I don't know.
Personally,
I think there was a bit of deflection in it.
Well, to be fair, based on that performance, someone's needed to be doing that deflection routine since about the 5th, 6th game of the season when Lee's wheels started to come off. And even prior to that, when we were saying, well, they are getting results and they are having these big periods of minutes early in games and blowing teams away, teams have got wise to it and they haven't sharpened up. They haven't improved themselves in terms of let's limit our errors, let's limit our stupid penalties, and let's try and play a brand of rugby league that will get us as many points as possible, almost moneyball it in terms of reducing the statistical anomalies that we produce that mean we're losing games, and by that I mean penalties and errors. So look, I do think there's a broader conversation to be had about the calibre of refereeing in the competition in a non-judgmental, open fashion, not just bash the referee after you've lost a game. Now, maybe he isn't trying to do that, but it's just unfortunate timing as far as I'm concerned. And I will take nothing away from Castleford. They're phenomenal, and they've got some wonder tries. Their first try they saw, which saw it get back into Luke Gale's hand from the little kick back inside. Then he dished the offload.
The kick through.
Who knew? Jesse Senni-Lefeo. So Cassie's brand of rugby league at the minute is virtually unstoppable, so it's just poor timing from my point of view.
And although
they look brilliant, and Greg Eden, 4 more tries.
They kept it close for a while, didn't they?
First 20 minutes.
It was just the 2 Senni-Lefeo tries. But someone somewhere needs to figure out to stop this Cass side between the 20th minute and the 35th, 38th minute type spells, where gale force blowing people away.
Gale force, very good. Nice turn of phrase, but no, thoroughly deserved win for Cass, who ensconced themselves top of the table. What did the stats tell us about this one? I'm presuming there was a bit of a gulf between them in terms of the numbers as well as the scoreline.
Other than conceding one extra penalty, all the stats went with Cass, unsurprisingly, and that conceding extra penalties at Lee is a surprise. But particularly strong attack stats: 1,559 metres and 9 clean breaks. You're gonna put points.
You're gonna win games that way, aren't you? Okay, so we've talked about one of them. Who made the individual stats round up for Castleford?
Well, you've mentioned Greg Eden, Scoots' nemesis. 4 tries, 6 tackles, 3 clean breaks. Jesse Senni-Lafeo, 2 tries, 188 metres, 2 clean breaks. Jake Webster, a try, 138 metres. Junior Moores, 204 metres. Michael Shenton, another 3 try assists. You know, his hat-trick of assists run is
there you go.
flowing there, isn't it? For the losers, Lee Centurion, Sam Hopkins putting a big effort for them. 42 tackles, 16 mark tackles, 139 metres. Mitch Brown with 101 metres. Danny Tickle against another one of his former clubs. He only visited him briefly last year, didn't he? 43 tackles, 10 mark tackles. Elwar Palissier with the same stat line. 43 tackles, 10 mark tackles.
It must be fairly nice being Danny Tickle to know that on most away games there's somebody at the ground that knows you and remembers you and will ask you about your brew and stuff. He's, been about, hasn't he?
Halifax, Wigan, all witness, Cass.
There you go. There you go. Do you think... I've got my theory on Scoots lined up now. Do you think she doesn't like him that much now because he's playing so well? If he was just knocking about backwaters in some Queensland Cup team, not having quite made it for Brisbane, she probably cared less.
I think she still would have disliked him, but her...
Wouldn't be quite so focused.
Wouldn't be relevant.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, we're going to talk about Scoots' team now. Catalan Dragons were 23 points to 18 winners in a close run affair down in the south of France in front of 8,439.
Yeah, we'll start with... I must apologise, I missed this one off the Google form. There was about 1 billion games to put on there, weren't there? And I missed one off. Alban85 said, a game full of errors and plenty of bad challenges, but I really enjoyed the game. You could feel the atmosphere in the crowd building towards the end, and it was brilliantly frantic finish. Neither team had the quality to put it to bed, but what a great contest. I think Catalan just about deserved the 2 points, and James Charles certainly earned his wages.
AK Still 69 says this match resembled the latter stages of Joshua's last fight. I presume she means Anthony Joshua and not the son of Scoots McKenzie.
There you go. AK Steele means
absolutely
that.
Anthony Joshua's last fight. Both sides swinging wild haymakers without either side connecting well enough to finish the contest. Loads of effort and doggedness on show, but very little quantity. Missing the go forward provided by Ellis, Taylor, Fonua and Talanoa. Deny this, Mark. Hull seem incapable of getting on the front foot on a consistent basis. That and indiscipline that cost them.
Yeah, Ellis had one really good game against Wigan earlier this season, but his go forward isn't a massive factor compared to Taylor and Fonua, who were the 2 biggest meter makers in the side. You do miss players like that.
Of course you do.
It doesn't mean you should be losing necessarily. Catalan maybe saved a couple of their older, more experienced, slightly prone to injury at the moment players for this game rather than playing them on the Friday game. Maybe that had a factor there.
Possibly so. Maybe the target
Hull weren't able to do that, maybe.
Yeah, do you think they're perhaps targeting winning home games? Fair enough. Tyler Cass fan there, Mark.
Said, well, I've seen some shit games, often involving Catalans, but this is probably the shittiest. Too many players not interested in playing the game. When League travel over to Perpignan, we may witness the first 3-hour game of rugby league.
Possibly so. Excuse me, Max says, Catalan went with Catalan tactics of slowing down and niggling. We were dumb and got drawn in. To be a man up for 20 minutes and still have no idea is shocking. Something seriously wrong at the club.
Malcolma Tios said, biased reffing equals bad league, not Super League.
There you go. I wonder who he was referring to.
Well, he seems to get in touch
overall, doesn't it? Yeah.
Seems to get in touch on the Catalan games.
Yeah. Well, look, goal kicking played a big part in this one for me. Away from some of the decisions and the errors and things, both sides went for 3 tries each, and it was Catalan who got whose conversions made the difference, and then obviously Luke Walsh kicking his drop goal too, but it was Gigo who won it in the end with his last minute try, wasn't it?
Isn't it the penalties though that made the difference in the scoreline? Because I know Connor missed a kick,
right?
Didn't he? Or did it? Well, I mean, he's at 18. They got 18 points off 3 tries. I think one of them came off a penalty kick. I think.
True, good point.
I'm not sure, but it's the penalties, the kickable penalties for Catalan. you can't rock up, get involved in a team with a team that are going to have to play that sort of tactics in the forward pack, because that's the kind of player they've brought in, rough and tumble players.
Yeah.
Sam Mower, Greg Bird, they're going to want to have a battle down the middle with you. They're going to want to have a bit of a physical encounter, and
you either match it with controlled aggression or you don't get drawn in. And I think they failed on both fronts at times in this.
I mean, they had their opportunities, didn't they? I haven't seen the full game, but I know that there was 2 sin binings for Catalan, wasn't there? The young centre who came in and made his debut was one of them, and Sam Mower, weren't it, who after scoring the first try basically couldn't help himself but going for seconds.
No.
And normally when he goes for seconds, everyone's happy. He's just adding stock to his
that's it.
to his pile. Well, this isn't the sort of seconds they should be going back in for.
No, he goes in for...
and Child explained that all thoroughly well, and I think he handled that pretty well from what I saw of the footage. I don't know why.
No, from what I've seen, I didn't think the referee had a bad game.
There was
Do you think people just focus on Child now?
Well, people focus on the refs because it's fucking so easy to do.
Is he the focus now because we've lost?
No, because they've hated Child ever since he came in, because he's skinny and he's young, and he's clearly inept to do the job because he's skinny and he's young.
No.
I think that's what put pay to Corbett Sports, put pay to some of the other ones as well.
Yeah.
And Kendall's starting to get the treatment now, just because he was on the Huddersfield Giants Academy. He's being treated like he's got absolutely no comprehension of treating teams fairly, which is nonsense. He might not make right decisions all the time, and I think he probably has edged on wrong decisions more, to a higher ratio than you want, Kendall in particular. But no, it's Tom. When was the day where James Child wasn't called shit?
No, that's true.
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
Absolutely true. I just think
apart from on the game before when someone said he actually had a decent game.
There you go. That's it. That was Rich Wilkinson, who's normally he's not a referee basher, is he? But Catalan, if this is the policy,
there was a try that went up as a try and came back as a try because it went up as a try, which is what we see all the time.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, there was some funnier fucking video ref decisions on Sunday at the back than there was on Monday in this game. But was it? I'm trying to think. Was it Fujiyaha maybe? There was one in the corner from a kick, and it looked like it could have been a knock on into both ways, but it wasn't. But I couldn't prove it, so it went with the call.
This is exactly how it works with every refereeing decision. We send it upstairs. How often do we look at it and go, "Well, that's going to come out"?
And we talk about rugby league being the version of the code with tries being scored. So obviously, our natural way is to lean towards giving a try rather than giving a no try in a uncertain scenario. Benefit of the doubt. To attack, whether we want it to be that or not. But surely we want tries to be scored, we want points to be put up, we want entertainment, and maybe we can get entertainment in the whole of this game because I didn't see all of it, but
there was some interesting moments, and it was an entertaining finish, wasn't it? Losing Watts late in the piece and Gigo going over to get the victory for Catalan.
Well, the win came just before, and then Watts. Do you know what my problem with Watts is? He was grinning. He did it on purpose. Yeah. And this is going to be potentially, hopefully, to be honest, his third ban of the year.
Yeah.
And he's not helping his side. When Scott Taylor and Gareth Ellis out and you're talking about, injuries, and this is what happened exactly the last time they talked about injuries. Liam Watts was out of the side or Jansen Turgott was out of the side, or someone was out of the side through their own grubby thuggery.
That's it.
And it's not going to help your team pick up consistency. And you might love him. And do you know what? Liam Watts is a cracking player, and I've been a fan of his since I first saw him step on the field at OKR a good number of years ago.
Yeah.
But you can't smack someone around the chops, grin about it,
and not expect to go.
I just think it's not right.
Well, he's going to cost himself and his team a couple of games at least, isn't he, for that one, you would expect, given his previous. So what did the stats tell us on this one then?
Where are we? With 154 more metres at an impressive 1.7 metres per carry better average gain and 11-4 win in clean breaks, as well as 3.3% better team tackle success. Hull had all of those, but the 17-10 in errors and the 15-13 in penalties cost Hull big in this one. The extra penalty goals Catalan took were crucial in the final reckoning. The 28 penalties in this game is the most this season and ties last year's Super 8's game between Wigan and Widnes as the most in a game since SLP began.
Wow, there you are. Okay, so individually, scrap one, but who stood out for us?
Sam Mower, 1 try, 141 metres. Mikael Seaman, 121 metres. Greg Bird, 117 metres. And Vince Duport, 112 metres. So some good work in the pack. Where did Duport slip into the side when he came on?
Did not put him in the centres.
Right.